All right. This is the Monster Hunter Rise demonstration filmed with the iPhone. I may need to turn this down. This is a Nintendo Switch game, so I can't just make an easy recording. I wish I could. So the purpose of this demonstration is to show to Rich what Monster Hunter Rise is all about. Not necessarily to sell him on it, but just to show him what it's all about. You can see here that this character file of mine, I've actually already played it for almost 16 hours, which is pretty incredible. I still feel like it's the first hour in terms of like my overall comfort and knowledge with the game. The fact that I've already spent 16 hours really tells me that this is a game. This is like a time game. You could spend a lot of time on this. You don't have to, but you could. So basically, I described this game as being kind of like, Sekiro is sort of like you take a Dark Souls game and you just take some parts of it out and you get Sekiro. And I feel like this game is all those parts that are left behind. It's the parts of Dark Souls that Sekiro didn't take. So that means a lot of co-op, a lot of sort of grinding your way to victory, and frankly, at least so far, it has been easy. But at least for me, that still means fun, but it has been easy. So basically, here's my party, and in this game you do have a party, strangely. It's like, you're just one guy here. You see me running around here, I got my hammer. But I also have these two friends, a dog and a cat. Now, why are they dogs and cats? This game has a weird thing where there's like these dogs and cats in the world that help you. Again, this doesn't have the darkness of a Dark Souls game or a Bloodborne. It's a little bit lighter in tone. And you've got some cheesy things like having dogs and cats for friends. So I've got this dog and a cat, they're my friend. And if I were to do a single player, they would both come with me. Now, it's not to say that this game really feels like you're fighting with NPC friends, because they never seem like they're that effective. I can never really tell if they're doing anything or if they're accomplishing anything, but they're out there. I see them messing around, so I guess they're doing something. I don't think they're nearly as strong as an actual player. So I kind of just ignore them for the most part. Although the dog, you'll see, you can ride the dog, so he becomes kind of a thing. So you got a dog and a cat for a friend, and then you're here in this town. And the way it works is this town has all your NPCs, it's got all your stuff, item shop, all that kind of stuff. And it has two important NPCs that give you quests. One of them is sitting right here, and this lady gives you all the one-player quests. And all these quests you have to do by yourself. You have your dog and your cat with you, but otherwise you're on your own. And they're called village quests. And then if you run into this building here, you find like the twin sister of that lady who's right here, and she gives all the multiplayer quests, and those are called hub quests. Now, to progress through the game, I think eventually you have to do both. But what I've been doing is I've been doing the hub ones first, the multiplayer ones first, so that I can get all the spoils from those victories, level up my character to make the one-player ones easier. It may be the situation that I reach a point where I can't win, I can't go any further because I just can't beat the one-player challenges. I don't think that's going to be the case, because this game is described as being kind of easier than that, but we'll just have to see. The other thing that's interesting about this game is that, the way the world works. It's not really an open world game. It's not really a linear game. It's neither of those things, because you don't ever really leave this place. Like, this is not a game where your character is like on an adventure around the world or where you're going anywhere. Really, the idea is that you're like a guy that lives in this town, and your job is to basically hunt monsters that live in like surrounding areas on behalf of the town, and you just always come back to this town. So you're not going anywhere. I don't think there's any other towns. This is it. And when you select a mission, it sort of warps you to one of these like 3 or 4 different maps that have monsters on them. You fight the monster, you come back to the town. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the whole game. So, let's do a multiplayer battle. So here's what I'm going to do. Rather than start my own mission, I'm going to try to find somebody who's already doing a mission, and I'm going to try to join up with him. So here are the choices. The red check marks are the ones that I've already done. Here's another thing that's cool about this game. If you do a mission like this where you join somebody else in progress, once it's beat, they give you credit as if you did it yourself. So we're going to go after this guy, this Royal Ludroth. Basically, this is our list of guys. So all these are just like big monsters. We're gonna choose this one, Royal Ludroth. And we're gonna hit the button, and now it's gonna try to hook us up with other players. Now, actually, I just recently started finding some quests that where it was failing to connect me. In the beginning, I was getting connected all the time. I think maybe the higher you go, the harder the connections might become. Maybe there's more people out there total playing the early game than playing the late game, that kind of thing. But so I'm about to get dropped into a map, and there will be at least one other player already here, already battling. Okay, and before I go find him and help him, I'm gonna run to this box here and grab some items. It looks like I'm the second person on the scene. There can eventually be as many as 4. And I'm also gonna go in here and I'm gonna eat a meal. This game has food similar to Final Fantasy 15. Basically, you eat the meal and then that gives you like stat increases. All right. So, oh, also because I'm doing co-op, I only have a dog. There's no cat. I guess because they figure they need to save room for people. Okay, so here I am. So the first thing I have to do is find where this battle is going on. And you can see in the bottom corner, there's like a pretty big map. And this is a pretty big area. But somewhere out here is the battle. And they don't make it hard. Like, you don't have to find it. I mean, it's on the map for you. You just have to get there. You just have to go there. So I'm actually pretty close. As I approach, I should see the battle. Okay, there's the battle. There's the guy. So now I'm just gonna start fighting him. So my dude's a hammer man. So I've got a big hammer. That hit me. But if you can see my little green bar, it turned to red, but like not a lot. So that's really kind of one of the differences between this game and like a Dark Souls game. The bosses kind of look the same, they kind of fight the same. But when they hit you, the damage is not so bad. I just got hit again. So it's not the kind of thing where it's like one false move and you're finished, you know? It's more like there's a lot more tolerance for you to mess up. Now, I've been missing with a lot of those attacks. Let's back up and let's take a heal. I have some cool moves that maybe I can try using. Hold on. Whoa. That was kind of a cool move, I thought, if you could even tell what happened. A message just came up that said Nico has joined the quest, which means we've got one more person. But now here's an interesting thing, okay? The monster has run away. Because this is like what happens. You fight, he runs away, and then you gotta go like hunt him down again. You gotta go find where he went and keep beating him up. And in the course of the battle, he will run away like 3 or 4 times. He's actually, looks like he's fighting another monster that's on the map here. That's also a thing. Now you can see though that even though I have this hammer, and even though the hammer is not linked to the stamina bar. It's also true that I can't just exactly go up and just mash away because the attacks are like really slow. And if I don't time them right, then they'll miss, and then I'll just get hit. It's kind of a waste of time. So I would not say that this game is just a mash 'em type. I mean, I think you can do that if you don't know any better, which is me. But I think there are people out there who do know better. And for them, there's some more strategy in the battles. So this probably just looks like a cluster right now, and I guess it kind of is. I'm just kind of wailing away here with the hammer, hoping to get some hits. One interesting thing, too, about this game, the enemy's HP is basically unknown. Like, there's no HP bar. It tells you how much you're taking. It tells you how much you're taking off per hit when you land a hit. But it doesn't tell you, like, how close the enemy is to dying. So you just have to just keep fighting them. But so yeah, I mean, it's just a total cluster. If my friends are skilled or not, I don't really know. I don't really know what they're doing. There's 3 dogs involved. Each one of us has a dog. The dogs are up to something. I'm just trying to kind of do my part, trying to get close to his head and beat him with the hammer. The hammer is a weapon where they tell you to hit the head for maximum whatever. So I usually just run over to his front and try to beat him. There, I think I'm responsible for him just turning around like he just did. I mean, flopping down on his back like that. I think that was me knocking him out with my hammer. And he's probably going to run away here pretty soon, I would guess, because he just got beat down pretty bad. Why did I pick the hammer? I tried all the different weapons in this training room, and I just liked the hammer the most. It was the most similar to my Dark Souls experience of just swinging something big and heavy that makes a loud clank when it hits the ground. The hammer is actually really the only weapon that does that. This game has a great sword and a few other things, but from what I can tell, they're no good. Okay, did he just run away? He did. All right, so let's call my dog here. We'll go chase after him. I think he's almost dead. It looks like he's limping. I guess that's how you're supposed to tell. The other thing too, like while you're in the battle, if you wanted to, you could just like stop fighting and just run around and collect items and stuff like that. Your friends would probably be annoyed at you, but you can do that. And also if you die, well, that's another thing to talk about. If you die, the game's not over. You get sent back to the beginning of the level, and you have to run all the way back to the fight. So that's another chance to like grab some of these items along the way. But the other important thing about that, this game has the way you fail the quest is if any players die 3 times. So that doesn't mean one player dies 3 times. It means 3 deaths from anyone. Now, so far, I think we have 0 deaths. So I think we're like doing pretty good. But if we were to if 3 people were to die, then that would be it. That would be game over. Now, this isn't too hard. I mean, he hasn't been beating me up too much. But one thing is, I've also been playing this game like very slowly and methodically. You notice I had 16 hours. Like I've been doing every battle, which you don't have to do every battle. I've been doing every battle, usually more than once, with a strong effort of really trying to make myself as powerful as possible. Okay, that's it. He's dead. We beat that big old boy. And now it's going to give me a chance to grab some loot. Basically what's going on right now, you can't really see, but I've got a carving knife and I'm carving up this boy to get some loot from him. And this game has a system of loot where it's like all the animals basically drop parts. You know, teeth, hides, scales, and then you use some combination of those things you use to craft your weapons and upgrade your armors. And it's usually the kind of thing where like that one boss might give 5 different kinds of loot and I only got 3 right now. So if I want to get the other 2 kinds, I gotta fight them again. And so in theory, you could just fight these guys like over and over and over again. And that's how you get all the loot. Okay, so game ends, or battle ends, they do a little scene where I pet the dog, tell him it's been great, and we're gonna warp back. We'll get our rewards. Here's all my rewards. There's like a ton of stuff in this game, a ton of all this different crap. I just hit A on everything. Now, was that fun? I mean, for me, it was. Because I love, like, the boss beatdowns. I love to go out with a group and just, you know, have the thrill of the battle, which just involves, you know, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, and hope for your teammates to be better than you. That's the way I've done, like, Dark Souls for years. And so this game is really cool in that it basically offers me a chance to do basically just that. And I've died a few times. I mean, and I've been on a few failed missions, but nothing so challenging that it frustrated me or made me mad. And I definitely don't get the sense of like dread of the difficulty of this game that I do from the Souls games. So it's just kind of light. It's just kind of a lighter, fun. It's just kind of a lighter, fun way to have, you know, somewhat similar boss battles. Now, again, I haven't been doing a lot of the single player. If I did, maybe I'd encounter something a little bit closer to what Dark Souls is like in terms of having to really be strategic and really learn the boss and come up with a lot of good methods. So maybe I'll get into that later, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to just, you know, grind my way past the single player by being so strong from all my multiplayers. Because, like, what did I just win? I just won a whole bunch of crap. Hides and all this stuff, and then I go to this guy and he lets me make like all these armor sets from all that crap, and whatever I'm wearing now is like not the strongest armor. Like the strongest armor I can get right now is like the Raytheon set, and that requires a Raytheon spike, which I don't have, or it requires all that stuff, which I don't have. But if I do some more battles with a Raytheon, then I'll get that stuff. And then I can wear this armor, which is stronger than the armor I'm wearing now. And that's another thing. Unlike Dark Souls, this game seems to be mostly about finding better equipment that replaces your old equipment, not about picking like a set that you really like and upgrading over and over and over again. So it doesn't seem to be as much about fashion. You have to kind of be ready to give up whatever you're wearing. This thing that I'm wearing now that kind of looks like a turtle, actually won it from a turtle boss. And my dog and cat are dressed like turtles too. But this will only be temporary. Once we get whatever comes next, we'll cease to be turtles. All right. Well, I guess that's it. The only other thing I would show about this game is that it doesn't have jumping. It does have running. It doesn't have jumping, and it doesn't have a grappling hook like Sekiro, but it has this weird kind of like semi-grappling hook, which is called a wire bug. And the idea is it's like a bug attached to a wire, and it flies out from your hand. You throw it, it flies out from your hand, and then it pulls you along. So that lets you like simulate a grapple. So here's like a grapple up. So it's sort of like a grapple up, except I just sort of jumped up. And the idea is, it's almost like, imagine Sekiro, but you can grapple to anywhere. You don't have to have, there doesn't need to be a grapple point. This game has that, and you can use it in the battles. You know, there's a lot of, you can incorporate the grapple moves with your attacks to do a lot of cool things. And I was doing a little bit of that in the battle that I just showed you. And the levels themselves have a lot of places where you can climb up and look around and stuff like that. But you notice, like, when I played the level, I just ran right through it to get straight to the boss who was on my map. So there wasn't a lot of exploration. There is an option to go back into the level. Like, I can just go back in a one-player, and I could take my time to sort of explore and grab stuff. But it's not really a levels game. I mean, the levels are there just because you need some place to fight the bosses, but it doesn't seem to really be about exploration or finding cool hidden secrets. It seems to mostly just be about fighting those bosses. All right, that's it. Monster Hunter Rise. Is it a great game? No. Pretty good? I would say yes. And I'm going to keep playing it for a while. At least until Dark Souls comes out with something new, or Zelda comes out with something new, and both of those is looking like it's going to be a really long time. So if you're sort of feeling desperate, you really want to play something, I think this is pretty good. All right, that's it. End of video.